If you guys will give me a minute, I'll just get comfortable. It's an awesome carpet, by the way. Okay, so my name is Majid Al Qassimi, and I'm a veterinarian. I studied Doctor of Veterinary Medicine abroad because we don't have the universities here. And I'd like to share with you a couple pictures of work. I work at Al-Ain Zoo, and I work with a team that care for 3,600 animals, or more than 3,600 animals. We have 150 plus species that we have at the zoo, and it's the biggest zoo in the Middle East, if I'm not mistaken. That's Freddie, by the way, one of our education snakes. He's getting a checkup. I can confidently say I have the coolest job in the world. Every day is something new, and every day is a challenge, and I really, really enjoy working outside. If you haven't noticed already, I don't wear Condora to work. It's probably one of the only jobs in this country where you need to be wearing field clothes. So, this is me. I wanted to talk to you about an experience I had. You might not know this. In fact, very few people do. When I was at school between grades 6 and 9, I failed almost every class. 6 to 9, that's 3 years of school, and I was failing. Why? Because I couldn't be bothered. It wasn't important. And to get into vet school, you need to be top of your class. You need to have a background in a balanced education, so you need sports. They want to look for people who can take on a lot, physically as well as mentally. And once you've gotten your application in, it's 25 people to a seat. In some universities, it's more. So you're lucky if you get to interviews after that. And so there's me failing, and there's the vet school. And I managed to close the gap, and this is what I want to talk to you about. I graduated top of my class. I graduated with the ECIS Award for International Understanding. I was on the Dean's List, and I won twice in a row the most improved student at my school. Thank you. This figure is very significant to me because I am one of only 4 national vets in this country. Emiratis, there are only 4 vets that I know of which I am one. But last year, this number took on a different significance. An article was published in the papers about a study that was done that said 1 out of 4 male national students will drop out of school before grade 12. That is 25% of boys at school now, Emiratis, that will drop out. That number is staggering, and it really upset me. But it struck a chord with me because I was in a similar situation, and this is why I want to talk about this today. This next number, 2021, is very significant because it is the year of our Golden Jubilee. It is the year we will be 50 years united. But it has also been decided that this, by our leaders, this is going to be Vision 2021. Vision 2021 is where we want to be by that year. We will be united in destiny, in responsibility, prosperity, and knowledge. Not in that order. But that point 3 there is what really concerns me. Knowledge. This vision talks about building a knowledge society, building a country that will take its human capital, take it into further studies, education, and really work on developing a society based on knowledge, that values knowledge. Now, you have this poor outlook and this great expectation. And how do we close that gap? Well, the point I'm trying to make comes from a personal experience, and I want to share that with you. The best schools. Now, there's people in the crowd that have said this to me and all my friends, and I'm sure you're all thinking the same. You know, oh my God, when my kids, I want them to go to the best schools, and best universities, name them all. I stand here as an example to you that you can go to the best schools and you can still fail. It doesn't matter that you go to the best schools. It's no guarantee. It is the person that needs something in them to make use of that. And it always brings in mind, there's an English saying, you can bring a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. And then my grandfather's words always ring in my head. And he used to say this every summer to me while I was studying, and he even says it to me now. And he's German, by the way, my mother's German, and he said to me, wollen. Wollen. That is, was zu erreichen, muss man es wollen. Translated, want. To achieve something, you must want it. And it seems very, very obvious to say. It seems so simple in the way he said it, and I think about it all the time, that for all the want, you will never achieve something you don't want. Think about that. And if you want something enough, you will make sure it happens. So, with that in mind, I believe we need to want to learn. And when I say we need to want to learn, well, why? Because I believe that education is the foundation of everything we want to do in this country. Education is what's the foundation for commerce, for research, for any industry, international relations. You need to learn about things to make use of them. And if we want to be a knowledge society, we must want that knowledge pretty bad. And so, it brings the question, where does this take place? Okay, where does this take place? If you're thinking the schools, you're pretty wrong. Because the schools there are to facilitate learning. They're there to give you easy access to the knowledge you want. Where do I think this happens? This happens in the home, this happens in the culture, and this happens in the society. And I want to share with you today where this happened for me. So I'd like to introduce you all to my dining table. Okay, this is the dining table at home. This is brunch on a Saturday morning, which we didn't have today. But this is a safe place. And there's people here in the crowd that have been at this table, friends as well. And we go to this table for dinners, for brunches, for lunches, any of the holidays, and we gather, and we are never there less than 2 to 3 hours. And it's not because we're eating. We are talking, we are sharing, we're debating. And it is a safe place where you can voice your opinion, where you can listen and you can learn. And it is definitely a place where you can nurture that want for knowledge. And I am sure, I stand here right now and I'm looking into the crowd and I'm sure every one of you has a place like this. Whether you know it or not, it exists. It's a dining table. It could be the kitchen. In our house, it's also the kitchen. Actually, we have more than one. And it can be Miles. It can be, there are so many different places it could be. But you need to identify it, and you need to go and you need to start asking the questions. You need to go and you need to start looking for that want. Recognize it and nurture it. Because with that want for knowledge, you can then go and make things happen. With that hunger, I don't doubt, with that hunger you will achieve everything you want. So, with that in mind, I have a little exercise, and I need you to show me your hands. Who here is responsible for the future of this country? Your hand up. Thank you. Okay? And who here is involved? Can I have all your hands up again, please? This is everybody in the crowd. Everybody has to have their hands up. Now think on that. Go find this place ask those questions. And thank you very much.